Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and it's Tuesday Newsday. Yeah, it's going to be a thing again, isn't it? So we've got another reveal. Today is going to be focused around Drazhoath The Ashen, which is a Forge World character. If you guys remember the Tamukan book, if you read through that, his story is heavily embedded there. That's when he was introduced. And also a little bit more on some mechanics that we actually haven't heard too much about. So this is going to be quite interesting. I'm actually quite happy that we're getting a little bit more context regarding the Chaos Dwarfs, as I'd love to know more about their mechanics in general. Not only that, but we're also getting some details regarding the narrative, which is something that I've been really curious about, because the DLC stories generally are quite good, like say for example Champions of Chaos. So yeah, let's not waste any more time and jump right in. So we get a nice little look at Drazhoath The Ashen's model, and he looks fantastic by the way. He looks very similar to his model on the tabletop, which is one of the most intimidating ones to actually paint, at least in my opinion, mostly because obviously Forge World. But yeah, he looks freaking cool. Let's just jump right into the little bit of information that we get. Drazhoath The Ashen, the sorcerer prophet of Hashut, is the lord of the Black Fortress and the commander of the Fell Legion of Asgore. His mastery of magic and engineering grew stronger throughout his time in exile at the hands of Astrogoth Ironhand, and now he seeks a return to the fold of Zar Nagorund. I really hope there's going to be some story elements which kind of go into this. It's known in the Tamukan book, but it would be kind of nice throwback there, you know? Being equally as proficient with his axe as with sorcery, Drazhoath is a formidable presence on the battlefield, be him on foot or atop his trusty Bale Taurus Cinderbreath. He's equally as daunting outside of battle too, being an industrial juggernaut and the best in class when it comes to generating armaments and developing settlements. Okay, so maybe he's going to have some sort of price reduction for getting settlements up and running. That's going to be quite interesting. It's great to see lore being implemented as a mechanic too. I actually really like the idea of this, and yeah, Cinderbreath is really, really cool. If you've seen the model, like seriously, just go Google Cinderbreath model, Warhammer, obviously you've got to put it on the side. It's absolutely gigantic. For a dwarf, it's just amazing. Seriously, despite the fact that I'm painting about a box a day, I am way too intimidated to tackle Drazhoath and Cinderbreath just yet. Okay, this is something that I've been really curious about because the narrative is something that I'm really into. So, the Chaos Dwarfs are a merciless race of killers and torturers. After straying far from their kin, the dwarfs to the east were cut off from the western lands during the Great Catastrophe, the emergence of chaos in the known world. I love good throwbacks to that. This is proper lore, by the way. They sought refuge in Hashut, the bull god of fire, greed, and tyranny, who laid his dreadful blessings upon them. Corrupted with access to powerful magic, hellish forces, and the fires deep within the earth, the Chaos Dwarfs demonstrate their industrial prowess with hell factories spanning miles across the known world. They've engineered infernal war machines unlike anything the mortal world has ever seen. With hell cannons so bloodthirsty, they must be chained to the battlefield to prevent them charging into the conflict. It's a really nice throwback to the old miniature, which you actually had to chain onto the base itself. That's cool. Anyways, all of this is in search of one thing, the blood of Hashut. To acquire it, the Chaos Dwarfs must build the Great Drill of Hashut. The Chaos Dwarfs must collect and corrupt 4 dwarven artifacts. Oh, okay. They intend to bind these to demons, forging them into components required for the construction of this hellish drill. Once complete, they intend to dig into the very fabric of reality and breach Hashut's domain. But the dwarfs hold grudges, and they aren't happy about their precious heirlooms being tainted with the forces of chaos, and they will seek vengeance. Okay, this is actually quite cool. So, I love the fact that they're giving a lot of exposition regarding on who they are. I don't think they've done it with the other race packs, so I think this is really, really good. The fact that we know what we're going to more or less do in the story is actually quite interesting, and that's the antagonist, well, protagonist really, because we are the antagonist, is going to be the dwarfs themselves. Pretty good, pretty good. Obviously, they're not going to be able to tell us the whole story because that's something that we have to find out in the DLC ourselves, but I kind of like this. It's already showing some sort of promise, at least from a narrative point of view. Well, a synopsis. But yeah, this is pretty cool. This is really, really cool. Okay, so we got some new information on the Hellforge. This is a mechanic that they haven't really shown in game yet. The Chaos Dwarfs are well known for creating some of the most nightmarish machines of war known to man, but they never cease to improve their tools of destruction. Never satisfied, never satiated, the Darwizar's infernal industry will stop at nothing until it forges the mightiest military possible, regardless of the sacrifice demanded by this roaring fire. While powerful, there are limits on the number of available Chaos Dwarfs and other units beyond the Laborers at any one time. This cap can be raised through further spending of armaments to craft additional weapons and armor in the Hell Forge. As the unit cap grows, so too does the Hellsmith's proficiency, unlocking further upgrades. When the Chaos Dwarfs can't build their units wide, they must certainly build them tall. Well, you know, for a dwarf. But, yeah, this seems interesting. So obviously we know that we use armaments to be able to unlock more units, which kind of makes sense. One thing some people did get kind of worried about in the Let's Play was the fact that there was a small unit cap, and yeah, that's understandable, but keep in mind that there's not a lot of Chaos Dwarfs in the world. There's very little dwarfs in general, and for Chaos Dwarves, there's even less so. So yeah, unit caps make sense. It's like the Beastmen, I guess. And yeah, it seems that we can unlock unit upgrades too. This is going to be pretty cool. Is it going to be similar to the Greenskins, I guess? Where you use armaments and just upgrade units with that, which I wouldn't be opposed to, actually. That actually works out quite well. The Greenskin upgrade system with the scraps was quite good. Yeah, this is going to mean that they're going to be a very powerful army, and I like that because obviously, you know, Chaos Dwarfs in general are supposed to be quite strong. Yeah, I'm kind of excited. Now we can jump into some context regarding the Infernal Guard, some really cool units from way back in the day. Among the most legendary warrior cults within the Chaos Dwarf Empire, the Infernal Guard has the sworn task of defending the Citadel from any that would assail it, and to exert the will of the Lord of the Black Fortress without question and to the death. Stricken by shame and humiliation, the prideful nature of the Chaos Dwarfs eludes them. As such, their faces are sealed shut behind iron and bronze masks, only to be torn from their flesh once they achieve great glory, leaving the faces of scarred warriors visible once again. As high-tier troops of the Chaos Dwarfs, the Infernal Guard can wield a variety of weapons in battle, including... okay, great weapons, an axe and shield combo, which makes sense, and fearsome fire glaives. Yeah, these are really, really cool. Both relentless and cruel, these warriors will stop at nothing in their hunt for redemption. See, I really, really like these units on the tabletop. These were part of the Forge World range, and as you know, the Forge World range was really stupidly expensive. I don't even have that many models myself, and I'm a pack rat, right? I'm a hoarder when it comes to Warhammer. But if we just take a really quick look at the concept art directly, so this is really, really cool because you might not notice it unless you've really looked at the miniatures like I have, or have been painting them and so on, but it's got a little bit of everything. It's actually got a little influence by not just the Forge World range, but some of the earlier range too, especially when it comes to certain colors and so on. Yeah, this is really, really cool. Obviously, what I think at the top is actually more of a Castellan more than Infernal Guard. But yeah, you know, Castellan is just the next step in a sense. But yeah, this is absolutely awesome. This is honestly what I wanted. I wanted a mix of the influence of both. And it's definitely here. It's definitely here. Plus, I love this whole concept stuff where they even show some stuff that they looked for inspiration. That's great. I want to see that more often. And we've actually got a big info dump on the Kadai. This is actually really, really exciting because, well, the Fireborn were miniatures, but the Destroyers weren't. It was, but it just never got released, which is my ultimate whale. Like, I really need that miniature one day. I've been trying, believe me. Let's just jump right in. The Chaos Dwarves certainly have a demonic side. Nowhere is better illustrated than through the monstrous Kadai, Chaos demons that were enslaved and bound in an iron war armor. They are scions of fire, and they serve the demon smiths of the Chaos Dwarfs. First up, we have the Kadai Fireborn, mighty demonic fire elementals forged from demon essence and the hot magma beneath the surface. They are mindless creatures of destruction, made too powerful by their creator's desire for power, and are the stuff of legend. I do have a really interesting question here regarding that though. They mention fire elementals, right? We know elementals are an actual thing, so are they just corrupting fire elementals? Are fire elementals becoming demons? Which is possible. It is actually possible. I don't know. That actually raises a lot of questions, really. Yeah, I know. Now's not the time to actually speculate, though, so let's continue. As monstrous infantry, the Kadai Fireborn launch flaming attacks upon their prey, using their blazing bodies to increase their own physical resistance while reflecting damage back at their enemies. Okay, this is pretty cool. Their intensity grows stronger the longer they spend in melee, but use them wisely, for the brightest flame often burned out the fastest. Once shattered, the runes that maintain their unbreakable attribute are rendered inert, leaving them susceptible to demonic instability. Okay, so there's likely going to be some sort of mechanic that will make them lose unbreakable? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see for that, but yeah, it sounds quite interesting. The fact is that they're unbreakable and demonic is going to make them very powerful, so some balancing does need to come into effect. Those mad enough to crave more need to look no further than the Kadai Destroyers, giant constructs of burning hatred that's fueled by the blood of sacrifices. We don't get any more art regarding them, which is a shame. It's just the Fireborn. But yeah, as the biggest and most expensive unit the Chaos Dwarfs could ever conjure, these monsters are a rare but terrifying sight. With anti-large and wall breaker capabilities, the Kadai Destroyer lets nothing stand in its way. Its size allows it to charge across the battlefield, sending units flying as it shreds those who stray too close. Okay, yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm really excited to see the Destroyer in battle. We've already seen some clips and stuff, but I really just want to use it for myself because, like I said, it's a miniature that I've always wanted and it's almost impossible to get, believe me. So we're going to look at the concept art for the Kadai, which looks absolutely amazing. This is something that has only been confirmed very recently because some people have actually been a little bit worried that it's going to be using the animations from the Sepulchre Guard and so on, you know, all the stuff from the Tomb Kings, but this has been confirmed by Creative Assembly that they use brand new animations and so on. So this means that we have a lot of snake-like animations, possibly in the future for, you know, Koresh. Yeah, let's not talk about that yet, but the fact is new animations is always good. It means that modders can also play around with stuff too. I absolutely love the idea of this, and I think that it's going to be very good for the community going forward. The more, the better. Alright, now we have the FLC announcement properly. I mean, Ulrika, she was confirmed yesterday though, so I'm not sure if they've got a little bit of other information here, so let's read over it. I'm actually doing these as, like, you know, blind reactions because I feel like that's kind of better for these types of videos. So last week we took a look at Gorda's Backstabber, the sneaky legendary hero arriving as part of the Chaos Dwarfs DLC. However, he won't be the only heroic addition. Transformed into a vampire against her will, Ulrika Magdova of Kislev is the ultimate hybrid combatant. Proficient in melee combat, deadly at range, and a spellcaster, Ulrika can fill any role on the battlefield, boasting the best traits from Kislev and the vampire counts. She bites... Sorry, it just kind of threw me off just to see that she bites, and that's it. Ulrika Magdova is included as a free addition to the Kislev and Empire races of Warhammer 3 in Update 3.0. A free CA account is required to claim her. Okay, so she is Total War Access. Once that's done, Ulrika will be available for recruitment in the campaign after completing her personal quest. Okay, cool. There's going to be a quest chain. I'm actually quite happy about that. Yeah, I know it's not the most exciting thing for some people, but you do get like some cool battles, like for example when we had Gorich and so on. So yeah, and if you go on the website, you can make your CA account now. I'm assuming the majority of you already have a CA account because there is already other free LC content that is tied to that. If you don't, you should probably wake that now, by the way, guys. Just get some extra content for free. So we are expecting a proper FLC soon. I'm guessing it's going to be Mirrors of Madness. Hopefully there'll be something else. We don't know just yet. Yeah, she's Total War Access. She doesn't count as a standard FLC. It's still very good though. I've said this before in yesterday's video. It's kind of nice that we're getting big name characters as FLC because Ulrika shouldn't really be a lord. And let's be honest, there are a lot of characters which really shouldn't be legendary lords but should be legendary heroes. So it's nice to see that. Hopefully the implementation works out quite well. People like it and we'll see more because yeah, I want to see more characters. I really want as much of the Warhammer universe in this game as possible. And next week we're going to be seeing Zat in the Black. That's confirmed. So I guess that this week we'll likely see some sort of Let's Play and hopefully some other stuff too, because I'd like to see how Drazhoath plays. Just in general, it would be good to see what he's got access to, what his starting army is, which keep in mind, starting army would be subject to change because obviously that's an early access recording. I don't know how long back they actually record this type of stuff, but yeah. I like the idea of the Hellforge. I like the narrative idea too. Obviously, we're going to have to see that in person and see any attached cinematics and so on. But so far, it's really, really good. I am honestly fairly optimistic with how things are going. The concept art is wonderful. I absolutely adore this concept art. I think it's really cool that they're doing this and showcasing a lot more. We did see it with Warhammer 3, but it wasn't as detailed as this type of concept art where we're seeing like actual references and so on. Yeah, I can't wait to see more. This is shaping up to be quite exciting. I'm really, really hoping that we're going to see this type of quality if the DLC does go well and releases as intended and so on. Like, I hope we see this type of level when it comes to future Lord packs too, future race packs, because, yes, I'm still holding out hope for, like, Ind and Koresh and stuff. But, yeah, races being more detailed with loads of different mechanics is going to be good. Like, so far, the Chaos Dwarfs look to be the most stacked in terms of mechanics, and I actually really, really like that. I feel like Total War could start going into the more complicated route, because... yeah, I mean, who doesn't want that, right? Who doesn't want a more fleshed out mechanic with loads and loads to play with? But yeah, so far, everything's looking great. What do you guys think regarding all this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a bit of a discussion. And yeah, I'll see you all again very, very soon, guys. Have a good day.